So I see a lot of news on the news portals, right from the newspapers on the mainstream media, everybody talking about Amitabh Bachchan's investment into Bitcoin, which eventually turned into a couple of crores, right? And this is not something new. He invested into this company Zidu.com about 2 years back, in 2015, and and this is not something new. I mean, this is been there for more than 2 years, and his investment has grown. And why is everyone talking about it today? Especially the mainstream media. Mainstream media is writing in suddenly all everyone is writing about his investment. And I find it very weird. I mean, where were you guys till now? Where were you guys till now? For the last 2 years, where were you? I mean, all these years you have been talking about how bad Bitcoin is and how people should stay away from it. And all of a sudden you're talking about Bitcoin, his investment and things like that. It's the own money, and you're letting the people know that what exactly happened. And this goes to show how how you cannot even trust mainstream media. I mean, if you were relying on that, I wish that you would have actually given out this information about 2 years back, or maybe last year back. I wish a lot of people would have benefited from this information, knowing that, oh, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has invested into Bitcoin, then I should definitely look into it. I should understand what exactly Bitcoin is, how it works, and they should have taken some action. You're telling people now when his investment has already grown. Now, people who actually will read about it now, they'll say, oh my God, I didn't know about it. Nobody told me about it, you know. So I don't understand why there is so much of hype around his Bitcoin investment. All of a sudden, everybody wants to write about his investment, how investment has grown. And so guys, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is how risky it is actually to be actually dependent on the mainstream media for any news, for any for you can call it for any kind of assurance. If you are like depending on the mainstream media, depending on these newspapers, depending on the TV news channels for kind of assurance, is it really good? I mean, I do meet a lot of people saying that is good? Is Bitcoin good? Because people are talking about Bitcoin is this, Bitcoin is that on the news media. It came on the news. It is written in the newspaper. Should I really look into it? Now, this goes to show that how, can you really keep the mainstream media as your second point of assurance? You really can't. When it comes to your personal life, when it comes to your investment, when it comes to finance, you really have to take your own decision. You cannot really depend on mainstream media. I mean, we have already seen what kind of talks they do on the TV, how Bitcoin is illegal, Bitcoin is this, Bitcoin is that, and they've been keeping people away from Bitcoin. I mean, so many years, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to talk about Amitabh Bachchan's investment in Ziddu.com. So I just wanted to take a minute and wanted to share with you that uh, this is very funny. I mean, this is not something new, and now when it has grown into the investment in couple of thousands and all thousands folds and all that. Now you want to tell the people that okay, this is what happened, and people are gonna react like, "Whoa, is this what it is? Nobody told me then." Wish you would have told me then. I would have bought some Bitcoins. Probably I would have learned about Bitcoin or things like that. But nobody told me. So it's kind of shocking. So this is what happens when you actually rely on the mainstream media for any assurance, and not trusting your own knowledge, not trusting your own intuition, not doing your own research rather, not putting in your own efforts to understand what things are, rather than that depending on somebody else's assurance, depending on somebody else's comments on what he has to say, what they have to say. Do they think they are right? Do they think it's legit? It's definitely up to us. It's definitely up to you to decide when it comes to finances, to do your own research, to put in your own efforts to understand what exactly things are and how it can turn out, instead of depending on a third party source. Let it be a mainstream media, let it be some YouTube channel, let it be anyone, let it be even me for that example. It really depends on your own research, on your own knowledge. So One thing is pretty simple. If you hear anything about it, start researching about it, gather some knowledge, gather some information, and take the informed decision. If you really depend on the mainstream media, which will be very late, by the way, in giving out the information, it took them 2 years to realize that Amitabh Bachchan has investment into something called as Bitcoin, guys. So I thought I'll make a, this is something that I really want to share. Do let me know, what do you think about this news all over the news media all of a sudden about talking about his investment. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Give this video a like if you like the content, and I will see you in my next video. See you.